Welcome to the Vault Excel. Thank you for joining me. This live stream is pertaining to the utter nonsense, in this case of Sebastian Rogers, the incessant babble of YouTubers Proudfoots, Seth Rogers, Tony Mathis, and unicorns. Got to throw a unicorn in there because basically that's what we're discussing. Unicorns, stargazing. Hell, let's rob from the Idaho 4 case. Just BS. Katie Proudfoot, Christopher Proudfoot. Why are you still talking on YouTube panels? First of all, let's go with the YouTuber. Why do you keep inviting these people up there to talk about absolutely nothing? As this one channel has relayed information. I'm going to play some of their content because we're going to break it down during this live stream. You just keep inviting these people up to talk about absolutely nothing. And I will agree with this bed crime stories. How much talking can you do about soda pop and shorts and shit? Don't even know how to talk to the people because in the end, they're not going to tell you what you want to hear. And Katie and Chris, you're just loving this. As the woman said, you're just going on and on about soda pop and fizz and shit. Nothing about the little boy. Hey, this is what we're doing to find our kid. Hey, we just bought 500 copies of sheets of paper to pass out in the community. We drove to Memphis and passed out flyers. We drove over to Knoxville, Tennessee, passed out flyers. We drove over to Arkansas to pass out flyers. You don't hear none of that in the conversation because this should show you that the YouTubers don't really care about getting the information out. It's all fluff. Just something to do to get a like and a view and a click. You don't like it? I don't care. I'm Queen. And when you pronounce Queen, make sure you spell it correctly. Capital Q. Not Queenie. I'm the hardest working YouTuber up here. Believe that. Because I do what most don't do. I do research. I do background work. I don't just talk to be talking. And guess what? I have other content on my channel besides talking about Sebastian Rogers. Because sadly, there are other things going on in the world besides shenanigans with a 15-year-old boy missing out of West Tennessee. So when are you all going to realize the Proudfoots are not going to tell you anything about the child or what happened the weekend of the 25th? Let's just say the weekend of. Stop saying the 26th. Hell, might need to stop saying the 25th because I don't know what I'm listening to. And with the father talking in circles, Seth Rogers, you don't really know what you're listening to. Because this is the same man that don't really know what was going on in the house with the Proudfoot. So am I supposed to believe he actually saw footage of the child? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go on a limb and say, I don't know what Seth saw. I don't know what they told him. Because they waited a month or so to finally tell us we don't even have video footage of him. Okay, well, if you don't have video footage of him, then what the fuck is Seth talking about? He saw him come out the steakhouse. So are you just talking about we don't have footage around the house? Or we don't have footage at all? Because there's a difference. When you say we don't have footage, that leads me to believe you have nothing. You don't even have footage of him coming out the restaurant. So make me understand, what do you have exactly? Seth, what did you really see? And I want to know about this Trevor business. I want somebody to talk to the Queen and tell me who leaked that audio. That was going to be my original title of this live stream. But we'll go ahead and loop it in this business. Who leaked the audio? And when is somebody going to admit that they leaked the damn audio? Instead of pointing fingers on who gave it to whom, people in my comment box trying to explain as if they were there. Oh, I love it. And he said, and she said, and he gave it to Pookie, and Pookie gave it to Nina, and Nina did what with it? Damn, y'all done went way to Mexico and put her in it. And he gave it to her to help her with her case with Christopher Proudfoot. I know he ain't lied. He took a lie detector test. Seth is innocent. He ain't do nothing. Damn, do you hear yourself? Everybody's got the answer. Everybody's got the equation to the math problem. allegedly. But from where I'm sitting, I don't see the interviewer have the math equation because I don't see Sebastian Rogers. So, because talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. And I'm trying to figure out why the Proudfoots keep engaging in this nonsense. You don't even look for the kid. You didn't go to the vigil last Sunday, but you want to get up here and talk to this heifer about some fucking soda pop. And he really don't like wearing pants, and he really don't like wearing this, and blah, 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 blah. I don't even listen at the shit. I just go through the videos and open people's videos to see what they're talking about. Not necessarily the content belonging to the YouTuber. Or shall I say, a messy boot. Because a lot of you are messy up here. You like the nonsense. And what it shows to me, you don't really care about the person in the story, who the story is supposed to be about. Because you're engaging with people who possibly got the child missing or the person missing. So that leads me to believe you are just as sick as the people that you're allowing on the panel. I said that. Now put that in your video. And like I said, make sure you spell Queen right. Because my name is Angela, first of all. Say my name, because you know I'm going to come for you. Because that's what you really want. You want some heat up here. As I told somebody in the chat, that heifer don't want no smoke from Queen. You don't want no smoke from me, baby, because when I get through with you, you won't even be on the live stream. Better check yourself or you wreck yourself. I'm calling y'all asses out because you all sound stupid up here, engaging in this nonsense with the Proudfoots. There comes a point when you have to realize they're not telling you anything, and they're never going to tell you what you want to hear. You want these people to tell you they unalived the child and who all is involved. They're never going to tell you that. I think they've told you in a roundabout way, but you can't accept it. So you just want to keep enticing them to talk about Skittles and Snicker bars. And he likes to play hide and go seek and look around the corner and blah, 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 but can't even show up to a vigil. So now, Katie, you done got comfortable like Chris. Now you want to talk about what the little boy liked, didn't like. As this one person said, really, you just talking in circles and talking negative about the boy. You don't say anything positive about him. He's a great kid. He's a quick learner. And then when I listen to all this bullshit you all are spinning up here over there in Donkeyville, that contradicts what Seth says that the little boy couldn't manage on his own. Well, he's got enough sense to peep around corners. He's got sense enough to point out what he likes in the grocery store. He knows how to open a door, punch a code in allegedly. He knows how to play video games, so that means he knows how to operate a phone or some type of video game system, but he couldn't go out here and knock on somebody's door to say, hey, help me, I need help. Somebody's doing something to me. Somebody's trying to hurt me. Yeah, you know I keep it real over here. That's what them heifers don't like. Sitting up, spitting up garbage and vomit over there about nothing. Well, let's go see what the Proudfoot said. Just like this young lady said on her channel. Why don't you ask these people pertinent questions? You're just going to let them just go on and on and on about absolutely nothing. They're not even talking about Sebastian, really just talking around him. Hey, this is what we have plans. We're going over here to advocate for missing children. We're going over here to speak to children about children. We're going to go talk to the school about our son. We're going to go over here to the elementary school and talk about our son. Katie, that's what you should be doing, is getting up off your lazy ass and going over here to these schoolhouses talking about your missing child. But you want to go over here and play in Donkeyville and give these people some likes and views because you know you're never going to tell the truth about what happened to that boy. He's a ghost. He's a ghost. Poof, voila, he just disappeared. So now we have no footage of the child. He didn't leave the house. Well, my thing is, did he get in the house? When did he get back in the house? Because you can't have one without the other. I don't think he left the house. Well, did he return to the house? Once again, you can't have one without the other. The link is in the chat. If you want to come up here on the panel and join the queen, make this live count. Give your opinion on the latest developments, which is absolutely nothing. Just a bunch of folks hee-hawing around. And if a person want to tell the queen, this ain't like Summer Wells, you must be high on dope. You can't see the similarities. What the hell you mean? I think it's like this other case. No, I think it's like this other case. No, I think it's like the Summer Wells case. That's what I said. You ain't got to like it. I don't give a damn. It's all day Summer Wells. Hell you talking about? I done counted almost 20 fucking similarities. And I can sit here and write them down on paper and still need more paper and extra ink. Let's get down to business. Welcome to the Vault Excel. Like to donate to this great network, $ McAndrew 129 Cash App, stickers to chats. Always welcome to the live stream. Let's hear what these goofy ass folks are talking about, which is absolutely nothing.
Or chime in. Okay, it sounded like a pack of cigarettes. This was like, all right.
So once he transitions into pants, he gets used to just those.
Did you get clear?
He doesn't try to wear shorts. Vice versa. Like even at night, like so it goes fluid. So like he'll wear.
I left that part with Dolly in there because it was kind of funny. I have to admit.
We try to keep him on a regular routine so that he functions better. You know, if you have sporadic bedtimes and everything, then he starts having more, difficulty with being on track and on task and everything, or he doesn't really sleep very well.
Right.
So his sleep routine has never been specific, but it's downtime, it's quiet time, it's, you remove the stimulus, screen time shuts off at the same time every day so that you.
So she said that Sebastian functions better when he's on a routine. And I know a lot of people have wondered if on the Sunday, either the day that he disappeared or the day before he disappeared, they did a lot of activities. They were all over the place. Shopping, bowling, visiting with family, picking up the niece, going to the Texas Roadhouse for dinner. Was that a routine Sunday to go to all those different places? Or did that get Sebastian a little worked up? Was he overstimulated that day? And could that have led to an altercation later that night at the Proudfoot home?
That, decompression.
Or could it be it was deliberate? Stay woke. Same similarities with Summer Wells. Candace Bly is taking her daughter around and around and around from New York City to Louisville, Kentucky on that fateful day in June 2021. Boom, West Tennessee. A mother has a 15-year-old all over the damn county. Over here, over there. Where else did you go? Ross? Home Goods, Gabe's? Where else did you go? Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, what? Grocery store? Overstimulated. Was he overstimulated? Does he get out of character when he's doing too much or going too many places? Seems like to me he'd be glad to be out. He didn't have any friends. You haven't heard from one friend of Sebastian Rogers. Checkmate. You haven't heard from one neighbor come forward to the news to speak about the Proudfoots, the child. One teacher has not spoken to the news. Ain't nobody paying attention. But you want to sit up here and listen at this bullshit over here in Donkeyville about what the Proudfoots got to say. I don't want to hear nothing about what the Proudfoots have to say, quite frankly. To me, this is Don and Candace all over again. How the hell you don't see the signs? The writing is on the wall. What you need Queen to do? Draw you a picture. Want Queen to get you a coloring book? Because one of you so fucking blind you couldn't see no damn way. What do you need in this story? A map. We're off to see the wizard. That's what you got right here. Everybody going to the wizard. What do you need? I need some new eyeglasses. I need duct tape to keep my mouth shut. I need some balls. I need some money. These are all your accusations of the people involved in the storyline. I need a new canine. Say what? I need some likes and views. We're off to see the wizard. And guess what? While all of you all are dancing down the yellow brick road to go see the Wiz, make sure you ask him to give y'all asses a brain. Please ask the Wiz to give you a brain. If I only had a brain. Damn. Did you hear what Christopher said? Did you hear what Katie said? This is just like the Wells case. Always repeating what a baby killer done said. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Somebody need to say it. This is why I tell people you don't really think about what you're saying when you chitter chat all the time. Channel hopping and putting all this goofy shit in the chat box. Did you hear he said this and she said that? And the YouTuber said this, and they had the audio, and they said this and that. I want to know who the hell leaked that audio. How about that? I'm going to be all over the place during this live stream. So, honey, go get you some Mellow Yellow Mountain Dew. Because, you know, we white folks down here in Tennessee, they love Mountain Dew. So, go and get you some Mountain Dew. Get you some coffee. Put your little whiskey in there. Because you're going to need it for this live, baby. Who leaked the audio? Let's talk about that before I finish some of this content from Stinky Feet. Who leaked the audio? And tell me why you leaked the audio. What was your motive to leak the audio? Did one of you leak the audio because you wanted people to know who Christopher Proudfoot is? We didn't need the audio. He's already shown us who he is. Katie has shown us who she is. She's allowed this white man to get up here on YouTube and talk bad about her 15-year-old autistic son. You think Queen needs a fucking coloring book? I don't. I don't color. I'm already black, baby. Queen don't need no fucking Crayolas. Checkmate. Some of you need crayons. I don't. Some of you need an illustration. I don't. Some of you need a guidebook. I don't. Some of you need a map. I don't. You are now approaching month 3, repeating what the Proudfoots said, repeating what Seth said, repeating what Tony said, repeating what a dog handler said. And you still don't have the piece to the puzzle, which is Sebastian Rogers. I'm going to say it again. Who leaked the audio? Seth Rogers, is one of you going to tell us who leaked the audio and why? Are you lying on Trevor Lee? What's the truth? Trevor Lee, did you get a hold of the audio from Seth or one of them other women? I want to know who leaked the audio. I want one of you all to be man enough, woman enough to admit you leaked the audio and why you leaked it, and stop this dicking around. This shows me that none of you care about the child because you're playing mind games. And this is not what grown people do when they're trying to get to the bottom of a case. But that's the point. You all are not investigators. You're sideshows. You see, I didn't talk about these people in the beginning because I don't like running around on Facebook. I ain't lost nothing on Facebook. Facebook don't pay me nothing. This box don't either, really. Just sitting up here making content for absolutely nothing. Because you folks can't read, you can't comprehend English, you misconstrue questions. And I just tell you the truth. I get tired of explaining myself up here. It's like having kids that I don't want. That's what it's like being up here. Always got to explain yourself. It's my playhouse. You can't follow directions. That means you don't need to be reading and listening to content on YouTube, IG, X, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat. You might need to go back to school. Get you a learning lesson, a reading class, also a comprehension class. Because the explaining I do even in the chat has become redundant. Redundant. So I'm going to say it again. Seth Rogers, Heather, Chloe, Trevor, who leaked the audio and why? What was your motivation for leaking the audio? Seth, are you lying on people because you leaked it? But then that doesn't make any sense for you to leak it, and you say you want to work with the Proudfoots. You got Tony on board to help work with the Proudfoots. They don't want to work with Tony because they don't want to work with you, sir. What the hell is it you don't understand about Christopher and Katie? They checked out. See, I knew what time of day it was when they was talking to Olivia. You done went from the news to the Chronicles of Olivia. I said, yeah, I see where this is going. Then you changing versions, Katie. Never talk back to the news. Then we going from Court TV, Nancy Grace, just round and around and around in circles. But nothing about the boy. Then Seth, he popping off on Court TV, mad, which I understood that because this is his child. But then there's lots of times when he talked, he act like he didn't know what the hell was going on, which was bothersome to me because I'm like, well, hell, he the father. He don't know what the hell going on at the Proudfoots, but I understand. Out of sight, out of mind. He ain't there, so how would he know? That means he wasn't in tune to his kid. Because if you're in tune to your kid, you're going to ask your kid questions. And if your child can't answer, then you're going to go to the parents. Hey, I'm smelling something. What's going on over here in Hendersonville? And I don't leave till I get an answer. That's what a concerned parent does. They ask questions. They inquire. And if you feel like they were lying, then you should have took it to the schoolhouse. Show up at the school. Watch your child through the glass or sit in the classroom and see how your child's behaving. Because I got a feeling this boy might have been acting out. See, y'all don't talk about that. See, you got to remember something about a story. It's just that, a story. You don't really know what the hell was going on with the Proudfoots or Seth either. And you don't know if the little boy was acting out, showing out, falling in the floor, having tantrums. He might have been biting, kicking, screaming, punching walls, tearing up shit, throwing shit off counters. Who gonna tell you that? Because they don't want to give you no reason to think this is why they got rid of their child. So I ain't going to tell you, oh yeah, he likes to throw stuff and punch people and bite people and pull on your clothes. They ain't gonna tell you that. Because they already know. Hell, you already think they done killed the little boy. So I ain't going to tell you nothing to make you think this is why I would have killed him. But they have. Little do they know. They've told us a lot. They've told you a lot. Because they speak negatively of him as if he's no longer here. And that's what people do when people are dead. They talk about him because they know they can't say nothing. Checkmate. When did a dead man tell you a story? And when you don't leave trace evidence, you don't leave data, you don't leave blood, saliva, fecal matter, urine, text messages, then the dead can't talk. And that's what this sounds like. An orchestrated plan to discard a troubled 15-year-old child or a child that was unwanted. They checked out. And that's what you see over there in Donkeyville, up on the damn panel. People talking about a child they did not want. I don't need him, and he gone. Next. So that's why you get all this stupid talk about soda pops and pants and shorts and shit. Because it ain't nothing else to talk about. And you sitting up here entertaining this bullshit with your dumb ass over there. Sit up there letting these people sit up on a panel knowing they probably done killed the kid, and you just letting them talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and they ain't telling nothing. Even if the little boy had become a problem or acted out because of his mental disability, they should have made provisions for him. And that's where the father comes in. And if the father, Seth Rogers, couldn't have taken the child in, then they should have thought about a group home for the boy if he had become unruly or they just wanted to check out. But see, people don't want to let people know they checked out because they know people will talk bad about them. Oh my gosh, you won't believe what the Proudfoots did. What they do, girl? Honey, they got rid of that 15-year-old autistic boy. Honey, they put him in a group home for the mentally disabled. Shut your mouth. Ooh, that's terrible. Get rid of that boy like that. See, it's easier to kill a person than to tell the truth. I didn't want him. And I ain't want to put him in no group home for no mentally disabled boys. I don't want y'all gossiping about me, talking about I was a bad mama. Well, you're a bad mama if you killed him. But that's the point, ain't it? You got to prove I killed him. Ting, 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 ting. You got to prove it. So, miss me with all this stupid people talk. I don't want to hear nothing about no Illuminati. I don't want to hear nothing else about a fucking pond, shoes, the dog hit here and there. Give it a rest. Just give it a rest. Because you're listening to shit from people who really have nothing invested in the story. Talk is cheap. Haven't you figured that out already? Haven't you figured it out from dealing with all these other true crime cases of people involving themselves saying, I'm here on behalf of the boy. I'm here with a dog. I'm here with a cat. I'm here with a billy goat. I'm the PR. I'm the PI. I'm the lawyer. I'm the butcher, the baker. I'm the YouTuber that cares. But yet ain't nobody found nobody. And then everybody is throwing daggers at each other and arguing over absolutely nothing. Because the point of the story is it was chaos from the beginning. It was chaos in California. And all these other people got looped into the lives of Christopher, Seth, and Katie. Pay attention. And now it's all the way down here in Tennessee wreaking havoc. Don't you find it interesting how shit can travel? It's like putting shit in a bag and putting it on a stick and carrying it around day for day for day for day for day. So basically what we're talking about here is 15 years of shit in a bag. Say it again, Queen. 15 years of shit in a bag. Kind of hard now, ain't it? Rock hard. See, I'm very analytical, if you didn't know that about the Queen. 15 years of shit in a bag on a stick carried from person to person. All the way from California to the state of Tennessee. So it's not shocking that you have a 15-year-old missing. It's no different than a little girl missing from the holler. 5 years of shit in a bag. And it carried around the holler from Kingsport back to Rogersville until, whoo, poof, voila, little girl gone. Poof, voila, her brothers are gone. Because there was havoc. And where there is mischief, there will be mayhem. That's why you have a 5-year-old missing coming up 3 years. Somewhere else. Now you have a 15-year-old missing in West Tennessee and you're not paying attention to what is evidence. It's been shit in a bag for 15 years. And finally, somebody got tired of carrying the bag of shit around. Got tired of passing the shit bag on a stick. Oh, I'm done with this. I'm tired of carrying this shitty bag around. I want out. And that's exactly what happened with the boy. They checked out, the Proudfoots. Whether they had help, no help, it doesn't really matter because who's going to tell you the truth? So all this I Spy shit you all on, who passed the child off to Pookie, Ray, to mama, grandmama, come on with all that. Just come on with all that. Nobody's getting ready to tell you they help carry no kid nowhere. Oh yeah, I was sitting by the duck pond waiting for them to hand me Sebastian. I was running around in the dark with flashlights. We handed him flashlights and we told him we're going to play hide and go seek. See, you don't know how it went down. Because who's going to tell you? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Hit the link. Make this live count. Make this live count. Exactly like somewhere else. It's nothing to cry about.
Sunday to go to all those different places, or did that get Sebastian a little worked up? Was he overstimulated that day? And could that have led to an altercation later that night at the Proudfoot home?
That, decompression time. And, we have the night lights and the little bitches for the self-stimming and everything, because that's, you can't make them just do nothing. But it's turning off all the screens and okay, we're
Probably screaming at him and telling him to go sleep in the garage, allegedly. Don't piss the bed, allegedly. Put your diaper on, allegedly.
gonna be quiet. I understand you're not necessarily going to sleep, but you're gonna lay in the bed and relax.
I saw a couple people asking about what temperatures that he likes. Is he a cool person? Is he a warm person?
And he also really loves going outside and building and having snow fights. When we had that rain, or not rain, but the frozen snow, when it was too cold to even make a snowman.
Oh, around Thanksgiving time.
We were still outside throwing,
Snowballs.
he was trying his best to make snowballs, but it wound up just being throwing handfuls of fluff across the yard.
Again, the laughter, it just doesn't fit with the situation. Your kid's missing, it's 3 months. Where is he? Is he dead? The people asking the questions are not asking questions that are going to benefit the case, that are going to benefit Sebastian if he's out there lost somewhere. They're shooting the shit about silly stuff.
For the most part, though, he
Well-
was being inside.
So do you?
Well, blame the YouTuber. Blame the YouTuber, because the Proudfoots can't get up on a panel without assistance from the creator of the channel. So if you're going to blame the Proudfoots, you blame the YouTuber. You blame the YouTubers who allow them to come up on the panel and shoot this nonsense out about their child. Every day you let the Proudfoots come up on your channel, you with the shit. I said it. Because there's only so many questions you can continuously ask a person. Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do this? They said this. They said this. They said this. They're not going to do nothing but deny it. So how many times can you keep having somebody come up on a panel to talk around in circles about soda pop cans and Skittles and shit? What is the point? They're never going to confess to unaliving their child. They're never going to confess to being abusive mentally or physically to the child. They are never going to work with Seth Rogers, Tony Mathis, dog handlers, drones, TBI, FBI, Sumner County Sheriff's Department. Let me make that clear in case somebody's got some suds in their ears. And your brain is on retraction. The Proudfoots have checked out. That's the purpose of why the boy is gone. So all this hee-hawing ass around in Donkeyville, what is the point? They don't want the boy. That's why they're talking bad about him, speaking negatively about him, talking in circles about soda pop and apple juice and all that old bullshit. You sitting here running over here wanting to listen to this bullshit for what? She checked out. The husband is worth nothing. Christopher Proudfoot is a very insecure male. This is why he dominates the conversation on the panels. This is why he's been the lead talking on the panels, because this is what he has been doing in his life. He's a narcissist, and he finds gullible people to follow in and chase in behind his ass. And that's where he found Katie Proudfoot, Nina Gomez. He's a puppet master. And that is the thing about life. People can only do what you allow them to do. What you allow, what you participate in. And they equally participated in courtships with this Teletubby. And now a whole child is missing because of what these people allowed. And she allowed this man to dominate her peripheral. She allowed this man to mistreat her child. And Seth Rogers obviously was not in tune to what the fuck was going on with his son. Because if your son told you he didn't want to go back there, why are we even talking about Sebastian Rogers? Help me understand. This shouldn't even be a conversation of a missing boy. Because Seth, you should have went to Katie and Christopher to say, I want to know what the hell is going on. Because let Chris tell it, y'all talked every day, you and Seth, Seth and Chris. Well, if you all talked every day, then why the boy missing? Why are they not helping find the boy? Because you all are lying. Somebody is lying up in chin. You all are not telling the truth of what the fuck has been going on in Hendersonville. And the walls are talking. Every day you let the Proudfoots come up on your channel, you are feeding the beast. You are feeding the nonsense. And that means you with the shit too. You're a troublemaker. Cage rattler. Bottom feeder. I said it. Because there's nothing coming from these interviews but pure filth. And they're just telling you they didn't chime in with the child. They didn't want the child. Because nothing they're saying in their conversations on panel is of relevance to where the child is in trying to retrieve the child. Whether it is a recovery or trying to see if he's somewhere stored away by a dirty sadist or somebody who was trying to help the child, which I don't believe. I'm not getting ready to go to jail for kidnapping no kid because I think they got a rough life. I'm getting ready to go to the police with the child. And I'm going to tell the child, hey, tell the police your story. We're going to bypass DHS because DHS is a waste of time. You go to the police. Here, baby, tell them what they've been doing to you. How many times can you call CPS about abuse? And allegedly, the case was closed. Allegedly, there was no evidence found that the Proudfoots abused the boy. And then poof, voila, now he's gone.
You think a kid who prefers being inside is going to go outside late at night or in the early morning hours when it's cold? Is going to go outside at that hour without his shoes is if he's terrified and he's running away.
He's the kind of kid that would rather play video games and be inside hanging out than outside playing football, but he does like going out.
Katie, stop this nonsense. He didn't go outside and participate in nothing because you didn't introduce him to anything. If you don't introduce your children to extracurricular activities, they're not going to be interested in extracurricular activities. If you sit around and smack on Doritos and candy bars all day, drinking you some Boom Farm or whatever the hell you like, Jack Daniels, coffee, you sit in front of cable all day watching TV and Lifetime and LMN, that's probably what your children are going to do. You ornery, you lazy, you probably will raise ornery, lazy children. And even at some point, a child will get tired of wanting to sit in. So basically now you're trying to tell us, oh, that's all he wanted to do was play video games and stay inside. But let Seth tell it he's a runner. Oh, shit, come on with it, Queen. Ain't nobody listening. I smell bullshit. I smell bullshit. They're talking about searching a 5-mile radius. They don't know that boy like to run. Well, I'll be damned. So basically, Seth is telling us he could have ran past 5 miles. He could run around, Katie. See, this is why I keep telling you. They telling you the story, you're not listening. Somebody is lying. Seth say he can run, and she said, well, he likes staying inside. No, because you like staying inside. You don't want to participate in nothing. So he ain't going to participate in nothing. You can't have one without the other. He don't got no friends. Ain't nobody coming to pick him up. Ain't nobody visiting. He ain't going down the street to play with other kids. He ain't going to the movies. He ain't going to do what teenagers do. So I guess he do like playing Twitch all motherfucking day. Katie, where are your friends? Talk to the queen. Ah, now the plot thickens. Where are your friends, Katie Boo? Christopher, where are your friends, your homeboys, your bicycle buddies? Thank you, Blue. Katie, what do you do for yourself for me time? See, I always go in the belly of the beast because some of you scared to go down and out. I'm not, because I know people. And I know people are predictable. And I also know that they're creatures of habit. And I know they will tell on themselves sooner or later. And that's what you have here with this case of Sebastian Rogers. You have people telling you shit without telling you shit. Katie, do you get your nails done? Toes done? When was the last time you had a manicure? When was the last time you had a haircut? When was the last time you colored your hair? Who does your hair? When was the last time you traveled out of town? When was the last time you had a girls' trip? Do you have any friends, associates? Who do you hang with? Who do you talk to when you're not talking to Christopher Proudfoot? Checkmate. Ah. So you want to get in the belly of the beast and get to the truth? You need to go find somebody who's a confidant that's willing to tell and spill the tea. Who do you text when you're not feeling good and upset at the world? You don't want to talk to Christopher. You don't want to be bothered with your son. Who do you talk to, Katie Boo? Who do you vent to, rant to? See, that's where the truth comes in. It's the outside person who holds the secrets to how Katie felt about her life and her child. You want to get to the bottom of the story? You find that person. Not no goofy ass YouTuber. YouTube don't know nothing. Because you can best believe the folks who are sitting up here letting them come up on their panels, they just as jacked up as the Proudfoots. I said it. Just as jacked up. Sitting here slobbering on top of these fucking baby killers. Who is your friend, Katie? And Christopher, what do you do when you are in Memphis and you are not around Katie and Sebastian Rogers? Who are you talking to? What are you doing when you're down there in that camper or hotel or whatever you're doing? Do you drink? Are you all drinkers? Do you drink beer, liquor? Hard lemonade? Do you smoke cigarettes? Do you smoke marijuana, pop pills, or do you use illicit drugs? Talk to the queen. Because everybody has a vice or two. Are you shoppers, gamblers? Were you too unhappy? Christopher and Katie. Is this child the reason why we can't see him or hear from him? Because you all checked out. You were tired of rearing him. He had become a major problem in your life, your marriage. And somebody gave somebody an ultimatum and somebody said, okay, I'll do it for you. I love you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to get out of hand. I love you, Chris. Christopher? Did it kind of go like that, Katie? Did you allow your child full of love and affection? Christopher Proudfoot, talk to the queen. You like talking over there in Donkeyville? Come on over here to the queen and enlighten me. Because y'all know I wouldn't put up that bullshit. I got pretty feet. I don't put my feet in the mud. Checkmate. I wish the hell I would. Tell me, Katie, what was the last straw in dealing with your son? Did he say something out of the way? Did he have a tantrum, fall out, kicking, screaming? What did you do? Run over to him? Did you kick him? You stop that. Stop that right now. Sick of this shit. You're causing me problems with Christopher. I've been good to you, Sebastian. I've been good to you. What is it that you want from me? Or did you just politely go over, put your hands over his face and mouth, put a pillow over his face, suffocated the child? Had enough of this shit. I want my life. I've given this baby 15 years on and off. I want out. Did you suffocate the child? Or as some of you love to say, she took the child somewhere. Well, that means they have proof of Katie coming out of her house. If she came home with them, that means she went back out with the child in her automobile. Stay woke. And naturally, she had to come back in, boop, 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 pop the garage open, park her big boy truck in there. And then she decided to call Christopher. And let's talk about the phone call that you all love going on and on about. If you're dealing with pathological liars, why do you keep going on and on about a 3-hour phone call? This is what amazes me about some of you. You believe anything a person says. This is just Don and Candace all over again. Well, Don said, Candace said. You don't know she talked to that man for 3 fucking hours. If she did, it's about this boy being gone. What to say, how to say it, who to call, what time to call 911, what time to call me to do the 3-way. That's the only way they'd have been on the phone for those 3 hours possibly. But you don't have proof they talked for 3 hours, 2 hours, an hour and a half, because in the end, it doesn't matter. That's her husband. Nobody could grill you about talking to somebody for 3 hours. That's her husband, and he didn't stay there. So she can easily say, well, I'm married to him. And she's already said that. We talk. So what they'd have to do is go to her phone records to see how long she talked on the phone with her husband through the week and the weekend to say, oh, that was normal for them to talk for 3 hours. Other than that, it's irrelevant. Because you can't tell somebody who the fuck to talk to on their own phone. She's married to him. You all act like they're having an affair. You see, you're trying to make something out of nothing. You got to have proof of something. And an alleged phone call means nothing. It's only suspicious if it's strange people talking for 3 hours. Some random person. Then a person could say, oh, this is peculiar. There's an unknown number in their phone log. And they talk to that person for 3 hours. But her talking to her husband, and he lives down the highway, what's suspicious about it? Nothing. It's only suspicious to you because she allegedly said the child went missing the next morning, but you don't have any proof that the child even made it home. So that's the reason why he didn't walk out on the morning of the 26th. He couldn't walk out if he never made it home. Checkmate.
red.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
To go outside at that hour without his shoes is if he's terrified and he's running away.
He's the kind of kid that would rather play video games and be inside hanging out than outside playing football. But he does like going out, and he likes playgrounds, and he loves like the trampoline places and running. And yes, he does like to read Minecraft books. We go to Barnes and Noble every so often, and he picks out books. And the only ones that he has genuinely showed interest in, and even read more than once, they have Minecraft novels. And
So Sebastian likes to read, he can read, he likes Minecraft novels. Do you think this is somebody who would run away without his cell phone?
pages, and I bought him all the ones that we could find, and he loves them.
So they're chapter Minecraft books.
Actual storybooks.
Ooh, alright. I got a little guy in my world that likes those, so I didn't even know they made those. I had no idea.
I think one of them is called Voyage or Voyager. I'm not sure. I'd have to go look, but
Just put it down.
Oh my God, this is where I want to vomit. I have a little guy. Well, why not just tell us who the little guy is? Elaborate. Y'all love talking and gossiping so damn much with these fucking people. Hell, just tell it. So he can read, he can write. So then you got to ask yourself what he's actually capable of doing. He can read, he can write. So what type of child was he actually? Because I don't think you're getting to the truth of who Sebastian is. Because I'm not going to tell you that part. I'm not going to really tell you what it was like living with him. I'm not going to tell you the stuff he did that irritated me. You're already gossiping about me and thinking I've done something to the boy. I'm not going to give you that. So he likes staying inside, reading books and playing video games. He don't got no friends. But let you tell him he wanted friends for Christmas. So he settled for playing games to himself. So he goes to school, interacts with children to only come home to play video games and read books. Seems like a very lonely life to me, Katie. And you know it's a lonely life. You're the mother. You should see this. You should know this. What child wants to sit in the house and read fucking books all damn day? Play video games. It's not healthy. You need oxygen. You need vitamin D, which means you have to go outside your door. Sit in a lawn chair. Take a swim. Take a walk. Ride a bike. Go to the park. And the things he liked at the park seem very childlike for 15, but he's also a disabled person. So there you go. But I don't think you engaged him in things that other normal children would like to do to see how his aptitude could advance farther. See, we don't know because we're just listening to your version. But it doesn't look like to me you were trying to engage the child in anything else. Because it's easy to sit up here and talk about him. He's not here to tell us anything. Oh, he just liked to read books in Minecraft. But what did you do to see if the child would like to do something else? Honey, you want to go swimming? Honey, you want to try soccer? You want to try football? Oh, he don't like football. He don't like soccer. Yes, Myra. He don't like nothing to do. He like apple juice. Do we really want to get this ignorant? Because I can get ignorant. Him don't like to do nothing but play games all the time. That's all he want to do. He don't want to go outside. Or you didn't want to go outside. You sitting up here now pale for a white woman. Most white women like to get in the sun, get a suntan. Or you gonna stay pale all damn summer? I bet that's gonna change. Woo! Did you see that Katie Proudfoot? Honey, she is red as a hot dog. Oh, yes, honey. She outside now. She done got rid of that little boy. That white girl is red, honey. Because you too pale. You ain't about to get no dark tan like a Kardashian. Because you ain't got them genes. You a pure white girl. Your ass about to be freckled ass red. So you might want to color your hair blonde. Sebastian was living your life. That's what the problem, I'm going to say was. I ain't going to say is. The problem is you. You and that Teletubby, Christopher Proudfoot. You didn't like to do nothing, so your child is not going to like to do anything. Because you see, you lead by example. If you a go-getter, a head knocker, you like to be out doing things, your children will engage as well. Eyes of blue, stop. You probably worked all day, tired, come home. You didn't do nothing. You probably looking at Lifetime and Harlequin romance books. You don't know what your son was doing in the other room. He could have had the whole motherfucking bed on fire. You wouldn't know till the fucking house started burning down. You were disengaged, Katie Proudfoot, Christopher Proudfoot. How convenient your husband has a job away from the house. Is anybody paying attention to this story? You see, you got to read between the lines of what they're telling you. You know, I don't listen to all of those stupid shit. Soda pop cans and all that. That don't mean nothing to me. I already knew what time of day it was in the beginning. I just let everything play out. Katie didn't have a life. Ding, 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 ding. That's why her son didn't have a life. But it's not to say at some point on this journey, Katie said, I'm tired of sitting here. I need to get on up. I need to get on out. I need to start going to the mall, Bed Bath and Victoria's Secret, and get me some cute little underwears for my husband when I see him. I need some uninterrupted time. I need to get on up. I got to get out into the world. Look at all these old pretty women out here wearing their cute little bathing suits and outfits, and they profiling on Facebook and IG. I ain't no bad looking white lady. I still got game. Is that what you were thinking to yourself, Katie? You still got game? You want somebody to look at you and say, look at that pretty white girl with them freckles. Look at that pretty red hair. She still got it. Were you longing for a younger Katie? Because I think that's what's been going on for 15 years. You joined the military for a reason. Thank you for your service. But you've been missing out. And it happens to the best of us. We're looking at other people. What I tell y'all about the looking glass? You keep looking at that glass and you're looking at other people. Come on with it, Queen. It's time to preach now. You're looking through that glass and you're saying to yourself, woo, they got a nice life. She's got a handsome husband. He takes care of her. He loves on her. They got a great family. Their children are productive and they're doing all types of great things. The son's on the football team. He's the captain. He's got a pretty girlfriend. She's a cheerleader. And they're traveling overseas to Italy and Milan and the UK. And I'm over here with a Teletubby and an autistic kid. And they ain't hear no shit. Checkmate. See, that looking glass can get you in a lot of trouble. Stay woke, everybody. That's where true crime comes in. Oh, shit. Come on with it, Queen. They ain't ready. I know somebody in the back woke now. They said, oh, wait a minute. Big girl on now. She getting ready to reel them in. Oh, yeah. Fishing rod is in the pond. I'm getting ready to reel that fish right on in. You see, you keep looking through that looking glass, you can get yourself messed up because you're now starting to envy other people. You're starting to become jealous. Well, why her husband doing nice things for her? Why he talking nice to her? Why her children so productive? Why her children doing so good in school? Why they don't got an autistic kid? They don't got a kid throwing tantrums and falling out and biting himself and doing all these crazy things and lashing out. Marsha. That looking glass can become dangerous. You're looking at people on Facebook. I say it too. Damn, they stay gone. Damn, she just went to Mexico. Just went to the Bahamas. Just went to Jamaica. Woo, he's nice looking. Look at him. Look at her. Woo, she looks good. Look at that pretty dress she got on. But that's just an image. The truth is what's behind closed doors. How do I know they're really happy? Oh, shit. Come on with it, Queen. Because that's the point of IG, Facebook, even YouTube. It's just an illusion. It doesn't mean that people really got their shit together. So somebody might be looking at Katie saying, oh, she's got a nice home. She got a big boy truck. But what they don't know is Katie is unhappy. Thank you, Sandy. Say it again. Somebody in the back need to heard. Katie Proudfoot's unhappy. Christopher Proudfoot's unhappy. That's why the boy's gone. Checkmate. And it ain't nothing wrong with having a little envy in you. Maybe to give you some incentive to get on up. Do something better with yourself. Hey, they doing good over there. They successful. They got money in the bank. So you think. They got a camper. They got a motorcycle. But the point is, you don't know people. So even when we envy these people, movie stars, famous people, athletes, they just as miserable as fuck, just like us. They're unhappy. They want a little liposuction. They want their lips plumper. They want to make their mate act right. They want their children to be a certain way. But it's not realistic because that's not the real world. And I got a feeling that's what was going on down there in Hendersonville. There were 2 unhappy campers plus an unhappy child. And when you have 3 unhappy people in a household, you will have chaos. That's common sense. And I think most of you know it because you've lived this life before. You're probably living it now. You're unhappy as fuck. That's why you're watching YouTube. Come on with it, Quay. That's why you're in the chat every day chatting. Trying to block out that barking dog. Grandbabies running over the place, spilling Kool-Aid everywhere. Your husband, he don't want to act right. He can't help you clean the windows, empty the trash. I'll go to YouTube. I'll block it out. It's a dangerous game up here. See, is that blocking out will get you caught up. See, you're already unhappy. So you sit up on Facebook, IG, YouTube, trying to block out your fucked up ass life. But YouTube is just as bad as what the hell you going through. This is why I keep trying to tell you all you need to take a break from this nonsense because that's what you're getting up here in Donkeyville. Just a bunch of donkeys kicking around. They ain't talking about nothing. Exactly. Avoidance. Thank you, baby. These people are unhappy. That's why the child is gone. That's why they're on YouTube, because they're miserable as fuck. No decent human would sit up on YouTube, fucking around on some YouTuber's channel, talking in circles about a missing kid. Talking down about a missing kid. Talking about an autistic kid at that. The child has a disability, and you talk about him like a damn dog, and then you folks just run and sit up in there like you at the fucking Marriott. This ain't no Marriott up here, I keep trying to tell you. This is not the Four Seasons. Better check yourself before you wreck yourself. And these YouTubers you following behind, they dusty too. Yeah, you know I'm going to check their ass. They ain't living no better than you. Sitting up here, going live, letting some baby killers sit up on the panels. As soon as they get off the live, they sitting somewhere talking to themselves, smoking damn cigarettes. Chain smoking. Probably puffing on a heroin. Hey, you all better stay woke. The gist of the story is you don't know people. And I've said it 1,000 times. A lot of people are 1 minute from becoming a YouTube video and a news story. You better recognize. I'm not getting ready to play around with nobody that I think killed a kid. That's Queen. I don't care nothing about trying to put no channel up on no map. YouTube don't pay shit. Because in order for me to get paid, somebody got to watch the video. And most people don't want to hear the truth, so they want to go hang in places that fluff up stuff. I'm not a fluffer. As some people like to call it, misinformation. No, it's called lies. There's a difference. And I don't see how a lot of you sleep at night, especially those of you who are passing this bullshit around as if it's the truth. Because you got to stand account for passing this misinformation around about these people in the story. And when you're talking about missing children, dead children, there's something wrong with your spirit that you can sleep at night passing lies about a story. Because you should know karma is a motherfucker and it will come back. And I don't need that shit on my conscience. I got enough going on. And I'm not about to be making up lies about no kid. Just so somebody can say, oh, I heard this at the Vault XL and blah, blah, blah. No, 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 and no. I know they're not normal people, baby. That's the problem. That's why I said a lot of people on YouTube, the people in the chat, they're 1 second from becoming a YouTube video and they don't even know it. And I bet you that most of the people that you watch on TV that have been arrested for murder, serial killing, abuse of children, sadism, pedophilia, they got all type of YouTube subscriptions in their phone. They probably watched all type of true crime. Follow people on Facebook, IG. You all better pay attention. This is what you don't want to be. Is a Proudfoot, Seth Rogers, Tony Mathis story. So you need to tread lightly in how you're living and who you get yourself tangled up with. Because I've been behind the scenes of missing persons cases, and I'm telling you, it's no different than what is playing out right now. Foolishness. I have been a living eyewitness. And I told myself years ago, these people are just as crazy as the people they're supposed to be helping. That's the reason why they're arguing behind the scenes. Supposed to be helping somebody with a missing kid or helping to get a kid home to New York. And you just as jacked up as the people in the story that you're supposed to be helping. But the people you helping, they don't know you fucked up too. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I witnessed it with the Summer Wells case, another missing persons case. And the first thing I said when some shit jumped off, I said, who are these people? They can't help nobody. They can't even help themselves. Because that's the point, we're all flawed. And they're jumping on panels and going on Facebook and got these Facebook groups talking about what they doing and what type of organization they got. And little do you know, these people are off the rockers. But you don't know that. You just think, oh, they're out here trying to help missing people. They're trying to help children get home to a better place and, you know, get out of a bad situation. But you don't know that once you start dealing with these people, you're going to see signs they don't have it all together, that they're missing some screws. And that's what you have playing out here in the Sebastian case. A bunch of hillbillies wanting to be important, wanting to be validated. So they're no different than the Proudfoots. They're no different than Seth Rogers. They are all evenly yoked. They are all searching for something. And it ain't Sebastian. Say it again, Queen. The case is no longer about him. The case right now is about miserable ass adults seeking validation. That's what you have here. Because you see, the child has been out of the way a long time, even when he was visible. You didn't know it because you didn't know the story. But Sebastian has been on the back burner for some time. And that's the sad part, is how long. He's been on the back burner. That's the reason why he's missing. And now his parents are playing all this bullshit out on social media as if they care for him. But what you're telling me as a grown-up and somebody who's woke, you didn't care then. So how are you going to care now? Because if I'm to believe he's not alive, it's over with. It's just up to LE to put the pieces together. That's it. And it's a travesty to have people up here talking endlessly about nothing, and it has no regard to the child. It's just fluff to fill up airtime on a live panel, to get people chitter-chattering about what the Proudfoots said, what Seth said, what Tony said on TikTok, and what the dog handler said, and what the XPI said. Don't you see what's happening here? There is no respect for the boy. Because you can't go into a story and say, well, I went in to help the kid, and then you're doing things to make the case worse. How are you helping? Maybe you thought you were going to do good. Your intentions were good in the beginning. But now you are a part of the bullshit. And you have to own that. And that's what's going on here. Nobody is owning their part to the bullshit. Everybody's passing the buck and pointing fingers. But to me, all of you are evenly yoked and guilty because you're playing a dirty role. And it's disrespectful to this child, especially if the child is dead. Because now he's gone and you all are supposed to be allegedly helping find him, recover him. But you're not doing a good job because you're too busy pointing fingers at who said what, who leaked the phone call, who put it out, who's blackmailing who. Just some shit that's just outrageous. I'd be ashamed to even tell people I was discussing some shit like this on YouTube. And he said this, and he said I did this, and I leaked the video, the audio, and I didn't do it. And he's blackmailing me. I was like, what the hell is this? Are we still talking about this little boy? What the hell are we talking about? That's how messed up people are. And a lot of you don't get it. And you're sitting here reveling in this bullshit. I can open a YouTube queue and it's just video after video after video after video of what the Proudfoots said, what Tony said, what Seth said. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Just some irrelevant motherfuckers. That's why the child is gone. Ding, ding, ding. Wake up, everybody. This isn't no accident. This shit is well orchestrated. That's why you don't see Sebastian. Because it was planned. It was planned. When was it planned? I don't know. But you can't make me believe this shit wasn't planned out. Now, flip side is, it wasn't planned thoroughly. And law enforcement got stuff on these people involved, parents, somebody, and they just ain't told us what they got. As to preserve the investigation and to make sure they keep everybody in eyesight. Keep an eye on them. Is that what's going on? Law enforcement do have something against the perpetrators. But they're not going to talk to them because, one, they see they like to talk on YouTube and Facebook. Hell no, we ain't going to talk to the Proudfoots or Seth. We ain't going to tell you nothing. You talk too damn much. That girl gonna tell you nothing. You don't know how to be quiet. Somebody said it the other day. No, law enforcement ain't gonna talk to Seth. He ain't gonna do nothing but tell everything. So then you gotta try to figure out what's the truth from Seth. CPS report, is that true? What's in it? He has a lawyer. Is that true? Who's the lawyer? Hired PIs. Who are they? Is that true? How long is Tony gonna stick around? Do they really get along? Pay attention. Oh, he didn't have Seth on panel with him. I wonder if everything's okay. Well, damn, y'all act like they screwing each other. See, everybody takes a little of this, a little of that, and put their own perception to what they're seeing play out on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. When are you all going to realize you don't know these people? You don't know these people from a can of paint. And you sit up here and you put them on pedestals or you knock them down. The point is you don't know any of the people in this story. If you was to walk past them on the street, you probably wouldn't even recognize them. Because that's how irrelevant they are. There's something wrong with this bunch. And to me, they're no different than the bunch that got involved in the Summer Wells case. It is the same to me. You have a bunch of people who are lonely and miserable, and they need validation. And they seek out people with missing children to immerse themselves in the case to seem important because they are missing something in their own lives. And even when they see that they're doing wrong, they still make excuses for their behavior. Just like the people in the story, the parents, the relatives. And you see this with Sebastian. There is no accountability for neglect. The grandmother knew he wasn't being treated right. She don't say nothing. Tony and Seth go on live panels to act like it's no big deal. Oh, we're not going to say anything about what grandma did. She's going through a lot. Blah, 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 blah. And I get it. You don't want to talk bad about your mother on a live stream, Seth Rogers. But there has to be some accountability. Because your grandmother failed him, you failed him, and then you want to tell people this bullshit. All of you all knew that the boy was being abused, but yet he was still in the custody of the Proudfoots. That don't sound good at all. And sadly, if the boy's unalive, you can't go back. You can't rectify what you did not do. Lord have mercy. Who needs these type of parents?
I got a little guy in my world that likes those, so I didn't even know I made those. I had no idea.
I think one of them is called Voyage or Voyager. I'm not sure. I'd have to go look. But
Just wrote it down, so I'll find it. Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome. He likes Barnes & Noble because there's Starbucks in there too.
Big ass clout chaser.
Everything that says Starbucks.
Stupid cake pops.
Oh, those are my daughter's favorite.
Every single time we're near Starbucks, Mom, can we get a cake pop?
Fails.
I love them to death. I'm like, for the cost of one of those cake pops, I could buy a cake mix and make y'all a dozen cake pops.
Yeah, with some rat poison in it.
No, it's the same. You're not have the face.
Those Starbucks cake pops, like, I don't know what they put in them cracks, something, like, they are so good.
So we've moved from carbonated beverages now to Starbucks cake pops. What a waste of an interview.
Well, she likes bullshit. I'm going to say it.
All of them.
I'm going to say it. She likes bullshit. That's why you're talking about cake mix and soda pop and Snicker bars and Skills, hot tamales. It's because she don't got nothing going for herself to have them up there on the damn panel. Ain't trying to put that together? Yeah, I said it. Just talking about absolutely nothing. It's not even relevant. Nothing about the kid. Hey, this is what we're doing tomorrow. Hey, this is what we're doing on Saturday. Hey, I'm going to speak to this function about missing children. Things you need to be aware of. There is nothing. No safety protocol. Just no nothing. Because they checked out. That's why I don't believe the boy's alive. Almost 3 months, and the police don't even give you an update to a car a person. We don't even have a red truck in the story. How about? And it's the same bullshit with the whales. Dog scent. Oh, the dog hit at the end of the driveway, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's a scent hit at the pond. Drain the pond, nothing. So you don't even know what's the truth. How you gonna have a scent at the pond drain, but no child? One thing I never heard in that conversation, did you see tire tracks? Bicycle tracks, motorcycle tracks? Oh, you don't hear nothing like that. Oh, footprints? Really? You see, where I had a problem is that you don't have law enforcement saying, this is what we have in this case pertaining to Sebastian Rogers. Just some outside people talking about their dogs, their canines. That's not good enough for me. Because it's not law enforcement. And I'm not here to knock somebody with a canine, but it means nothing to me if I'm not hearing it from law enforcement, because they're the ones handling the investigation. So I want to hear from law enforcement what you have. Hello, public. The last sighting we have of the child is he was leaving the restaurant, Texas Roadhouse, with his mother. They walked out of the restaurant and got into a white SUV, blue SUV. It took off. It turned to the right. It turned to the left. That's the last sighting. We have no footage of the child entering his house on the evening of the 25th, which is Sunday, 2024. We have a car coming back an hour, 2, 3, 4 later, and the car goes up the driveway into the garage. The garage shuts. We do not know who was driving and or who was in the car. That's what you should tell us. And this can stop all this extra bullshit people are spreading around. Because it's sad that some of you can't think for yourself. You need fucking instructions and you're grown. We have no CCTV footage of the boy. So I have to use deduction. You don't have nothing of him coming outside once he got home. We don't even know that he made it home. Dash cam footage. Seth says, well, I don't have no dash cam. So then you got to ask yourself if that's the truth. That law enforcement has dash cam video from somebody's vehicle. Well, what's the point? Because if the child didn't make it home, you're not going to have no footage of nothing. And if she parks her car in the garage, where is this going? Please help the queen understand. Then you got to ask that question. Where does she normally park her car? In the garage, outside the garage. Where does Christopher park his truck? In the garage, outside of the garage. So what difference do it make about motherfucking dash cam video if a person parks inside the fucking garage? Because common sense will tell you if anything is nefarious on the footage inside of the garage, somebody bringing out a tote, a bag, a rug, well, they probably going to tell you that either. Oh, yeah, at this time in the morning, 3 o'clock, she's coming out the garage door, hauling something into the vehicle. Is that what you all were referencing, law enforcement, if we're to believe Seth Rogers? Do you have something nefarious inside of the garage in the wee hours? Because as I said, you can't talk about the house and garage if you don't even know that the child made it home from the steakhouse. Is there any type of nefarious business in the garage on the 25th of February? Does the dash cam show Katie getting out of her car alone? Ding, 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 ding. Y'all missed that. Is that what they're speaking of, Seth? They have Katie getting out of the vehicle inside of the garage by herself. Checkmate. Hot damn. Now imagine that. She parked her truck inside of the garage, and it only shows her entering the house alone through the garage door into the house. Is that what Seth is referencing without knowing he's referencing it? Now, imagine the truck is parked outside the garage. Doesn't show Katie coming out of the vehicle alone. No child, no cat, no dog, no nothing. Just herself. That would look suspicious. Where is the boy? So, Katie, are you worried about the dash cam? What's the truth to the dash cam? Please, somebody help the queen understand. I'm curious.
Chris is going to chime in here. Take a listen.
Oh, take the chocolate one, then the birthday cake one.
The cookies and cream when they have it.
And then his last one, he would probably choose either be vanilla or strawberry.
Strawberry, even go for the strawberry. But normally it's like if they got one of the silly, like, I don't know what to call it, like their little, you know, they always have one that's like extra face or something fun for the kids on it.
Oh, yeah.
He would go for that one if they have it.
I can't take any more talk about Starbucks cake pops, so I skipped ahead a little bit.
It does help if people can actually hear about Sebastian and not all of the BS and drama that's been happening, but just my son.
It's a good memory. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know knowing his favorite color and drink isn't going to help find him, but it's part of him. It's part of who he is.
Well, but Katie didn't mind, though. Think about this. Sometimes the same routine things. So if he's out there, you don't know that he might not be drinking or eating something like that.
At this point, Dolly interjected, yeah, he's got a whole lot of money on him right now, so you might find him in Starbucks having a cake pop. He also said, don't you know that places like that and stores require shirt and shoes? Very good point. Very good point.
The grocery store person that sees him getting a dragon fruit. Mm-hmm. Or Starbucks. Yeah, absolutely.
How would he be getting stuff in a store 2.5 months later without any food, water, shelter, Dodo Bird? Who's going to be walking around with a child that's on an Amber Alert? You people just don't even think. Sitting here feeding the Proudfoots this bullshit. Okay, you don't know what might help. This ain't helping. What you're doing up here on YouTube with them is not helping. You're aiding the foolishness with them. You're full of shit. You're no different than the Proudfoots. You're aiding bullshit. So he's just walking around without, no shoes, no clothes, no new clothes, buying a food or Starbucks coffee. Yeah, okay. Buying a soda pop at the store with what? He only got a job. He don't got no money. Don't you think at some point he would have reached out to somebody to get some fucking help? So what happened? He took some money and bought him some new shoes at Foot Locker. He walked into the mall and bought him some damn shoes. Let's keep it real. When it comes to killing people, they're not going to be found with their cell phones, shoes, purse, ID. That's up to the person that knocked them off, what they want to leave with the dead person. Ding, ding, ding. I'll take you with your phone if I want to. But if I want to knock you off and dump you somewhere, I don't need to take you with your phone if I don't want to. That's up to the killer. But all this old foolish talk this woman doing here, she's just a big old fool. Aiding these monsters. And anybody else that want to put them on their panel. And I'm glad this bed crime stories made this video because it's the truth. It's ridiculous and it's disrespectful to Sebastian Rodders. They have these people up here talking about soda pop cans and drinks and shit. What does that have to do with him? You all are just putting on. You're choosing who to go talk to because you can spin the narrative. And that is what you're doing here. Talking about irrelevant bullshit when 9 times out of 10, he's not even breathing. That's the purpose of this bullshit that they're spinning. They know he can't defend himself. He can't tell anybody anything. You can get up here and talk on this Dodo Birds channel, but you can't go out here and go look for your fucking kid. You can't pass out flyers for your child. The child you carry. The child you brought to Tennessee with this monster. And I was looking at somebody else's channel. All these little signs they were giving each other during the interviews. He's coughing and hacking. She's looking and lurking. Every time she says something, she got to look at Chris, who wasn't there allegedly. I don't need to look at my husband to tell no story about what happened to my child and what we did that day. Pay attention.
So that's why that's part of the reason people are asking. And
Hello, Melissa.
Rowena was asking if he's allergic to anything, food, environmental factors, patients, anything like that, if you're comfortable.
He has allergies, kick his butt because he's allergic to grass.
I don't know, her tone sounds sort of mocking there. He's allergic to grass. Would he go out then, barefoot, running through the grass late at night when it's cold?
So whenever the grass is pollinating, his allergies.
So he's allergic to ants, don't like grass. So is this the reason why the child didn't participate in any type of sports activities? He didn't play soccer, football, croquet, whatever. So basically you're saying he don't like nothing outdoorsy because he has to be in the grass. But yet you all have a camper. So who's the camper for? Everybody pay attention. Any ideas, Katie? Your husband has a camper, but your child's allergic to the grass. I'll be damned. Shut your mouth, Queen. Say it again. My husband has a camper, but my son's allergic to the grass. He doesn't like ants because of a childhood incident. So we got a camper to park down in New York City on the sidewalk. Oops, I said that. So you parking the camper on what? Concrete? Because most campgrounds have grass. Oops. Most campgrounds got trees. Oops. Come on with it, Queen. Thank you, Myra. Lame as fuck.
Yeah, really bad for him. As far as any serious allergies like peanuts or anything like that, no, we haven't found any food allergies. Just being picky about some stuff, but no, he's outside of grass, pollen. Right. We really don't know any other allergies.
To me, she sounds like she has allergies right now. I'm hearing some sniffling. Guys, I'm going to do this in 2 parts because frankly, I am having trouble listening to this whole thing right now. It's just a whole lot of nothing burger. Let me know if you want me to do the rest of the conversation. Give me a little comment there and I'll do it if you want it. And I'll see you guys next time on Bed Crime Stories. Now smash that like button and have a wonderful Friday and week.
All right, everybody. One second, everybody. Just utter nonsense. That's all you have here. That was more toward the end of her content. No respect. No respect for the child at all. Period. A stranger is very unlikely going to abduct a 15-year-old boy going through puberty and describe as angry. I don't think so. Yeah, I agree, Angela Dawn. That's why I said you don't know what the child was exhibiting in the household. And if the child had some anger issues, was acting out, they're not going to tell you all of that because they're pushing a narrative pertaining to the child and their life with him. So that's why they're talking around in circles about soda pop cans and this, that, and the other. It's all a farce. I'm not getting ready to tell you what the child really was doing in the house to irk us, to get on our nerves, to why we would have gotten rid of him. But they have given you a penchant that there were issues at the house. That's why Christopher talks negative about the child. He came to YouTube and he had nothing nice to say about him. Everything's something about what the child didn't do right. Now imagine living in a household where a person is overly critical, highly critical. You will probably eventually become a very critical person, insecure person, and you'll probably go out to the street and exhibit the same behavior, or you'll be more docile in your behavior, afraid to talk to people, interact with people, because you don't want people saying things out of the way to you, judging you. It's going to be a flip of the coin. And sometimes we become just like the people that we loathe. You come from a highly critical parent, you'll probably go out to the street and become a highly critical adult. It's just the way it is. It's going to be one or the other. Everything's going to piss you off. Everything's going to irk you because that's what you're used to hearing. So now you're running away from that life. You think, oh, I don't never want to be like that. I don't never want to treat my child like that. And before you know it, you are now your parent. You are now your grandparents. You're doing exactly what they did to you. It happens all the time. You have to try to stop the cycle of abuse. I won't doubt that these two did not have great lives growing up. Christopher Proudfoot, I don't think had a great life with his stepfather, the interchanging of the relationships with his parents, step-parents. I don't think Katie had a good life. And now here we are with this kid. Don't know what Seth's life was like with his parents. It's just bullshit. Then the allegations that he messed around with her at 14, 13 years of age. I don't really give a fuck about the number. She was a minor. How about that? You have no business taking up with a kid if he did. If he didn't, so be it. But they're never going to come forward and tell you that. And that's where these news agents need to get to the bottom of the story. You want to get to the gritty part, ask them stuff that's going to be uncomfortable. Seth Rogers, did you have sexual relations with a 14-year-old child, 13-year-old child, preteen? And wait to see his answer. Wait to see his expression. That's going to tell you the story of who you're dealing with. Katie Proudfoot, did you have sex with a grown-ass man and then later married him and had kids with him? Let's see if we hear dead silence. That's how you get to the truth. So a groomer can't talk about their child being molested. Oh, she had everybody around my child. She had anybody around my child. But you could have been anybody around her as a child. That don't make no sense. Because I still don't understand how Katie came into contact with Seth Rogers. Nobody is telling me how they met. How did Seth meet Katie? What were the circumstances for him to meet her, know of her? Ding, 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 ding. Ain't nobody got an answer. So now you're assuming something nefarious happened between them. Did it? I don't know. I wasn't there. But these people are toxic. There's too many allegations of SA, allegations of physical abuse, mental abuse on all parties. And that's a problem for Queen. And I know realistically, where there is smoke, there is fire. Yes, SRB, exactly. These people are toxic. They came into the fold toxic. They breed, made a baby. Everybody's sleeping and slumbering, slobbering all over each other from one relationship to the other. Toxicity from one state to the other. We have gone from California to New Mexico, all the way down here to Tennessee, and got a whole kid missing because these people had no business dealing with each other. The Wells, same thing. Two toxic people. Their lives were jacked up before they ever met each other. Candace had a jacked up life. Don Wells had a jacked up life. They met 6 degrees of separation to breed children, and they had nothing but fucking problems. Abuse, drugs, alcoholism, poor living, poor standard of living, poor ideologies. Now you have no children. Checkmate. What are you confused about? There's no confusion. Where there is mischief, there is mayhem. And that's what you have in most cases dealing with children. Let me see what this girl has to say.
They took my baby. And even when Chris McDonough of the interview room said that that would be highly unlikely, Candace was like, why? Kids go missing all the time. This is why so many people suspect that Don and Candace know what happened to Summer. The third thing is when a parent or parents are conclusive about what happened to their child. In the case of Sebastian Rogers, stepfather Chris and mother Katie Proudfoot have made it clear that they know for a fact that Sebastian walked out of the front door. And not only that, that he walked out of the front door barefoot. How are they so sure about that? Only can they be sure about that if they know it for a fact. Red flag. The fourth thing to look for is if a child goes missing and the parents are not involved, as in they don't go on TV right away or social media to share their children's face and name. Parents who are looking for their children legitimately will automatically speak about their child to anyone and everyone.
Exactly.
And they will plead for the child's safe return. If the parents don't do this, it is sadly a red flag. And this would also include parents who aren't out searching for their child nonstop. The fifth thing is this. Parents who aren't involved in their child's disappearance will speak directly to their child on television, on social media. They will address their child as in, Sebastian, if you're out there and you can hear me, know that we love you. Know that we will never stop looking for you. The sixth thing to look for is a parent who goes on TV and asks for help. This is the point, after all, of doing interviews. If parents fail to ask for help, if they fail to ask the public, please look for my child. This is what he looks like. This is where he went missing. If the parents are not using their opportunities for interviews to ask for help for their missing child, this is a huge red flag. Parents of missing children don't have time to shoot the shh, if you know what I mean, on YouTube. They are busy strategizing, putting out flyers, talking to people about their child, about where he went missing, about what he was wearing. They're out looking. They're not wasting their time talking about cake pops. Number 7. Parents who aren't involved in their child's disappearance, meaning they're not responsible for it, will make a call to action. As in, they will say something like, if you've seen my child, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND. We've seen a lot of this from Seth Rogers, at least in the beginning. He was also at Sebastian's vigil last weekend. He spoke emotionally about his child. He made it clear what he wants, and that is to find Sebastian. The other side, the Proudfoots, really have done very little of this. However, Katie and Chris were on another channel yesterday, I believe, and I want to share some bits of the conversation. Now, I am grabbing this audio from Dolly Vision.
Let me go through some of this.
And he went on Reese's Pieces for a while. He was on
Original, so just know
And he went on Reese's Pieces for a while. He was on that s'mores cereal for a little while. He went on a kick for that.
So clearly they were talking about cereal and things that Sebastian liked to eat for breakfast. In my opinion, this is a very safe topic for the Proudfoots to feel comfortable talking about. Notice how they did use the past tense. They were saying he was on a kick for Lucky Charms for a while.
Well, that's interesting because in the beginning, Katie was using present tense pertaining to her son. I did make sure to pay attention to her vocabulary in describing Sebastian Rogers. And in the beginning, she used present tense. So maybe she's gotten comfortable now. Her brain has gotten used to the child not being around or computing that he is gone. She knows that he's gone, and she's now using past tense. The link is in the chat. If not, I will play a little bit of this content, then I'm going to check out of here. Thank you so much for your time. Make sure you all have a wonderful, safe weekend. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. Please stop aiding into this foolishness with these people and other true crime stories because it's a mockery of the person missing and or deceased. At some point, you have to take accountability for the part you play in talking about this foolishness. And anybody that wants to aid people who 9 times out of 10 killed a child, another human being, that tells me a lot about you. And I get it. In the beginning, these people go to the news, Good Morning America, Today's Show, Nancy Grace, they want to talk to the people. But there comes a point when somebody has to have some fucking common sense to say something ain't right with these people. And I believe they have something to do with the disappearance of that person. Because YouTube is not the Today Show. It's not Good Morning America. It is not 2020. It's a free fall. And a lot of these people have no respect for the living or the dead. And they aid this foolishness by putting it up on their channel. But they don't give 2 fucks about Sebastian Rogers. They don't give 2 fucks about Summer. It's all fluff. It's all talk. And that's my opinion.
They're not saying here he loves sugar. He loves sugary cereal like Reese's Pieces. We always buy that for him, and that's what he likes to eat.
It's actually kind of really good.
Occasionally he'll eat frosted mini wheats, so that's kind of cool.
Or even raisin bran, but he got off raisin bran. I don't know what happened. Like one day he just decided he didn't like raisins anymore.
Well, raisins can be deceptive. Have you ever thought you were getting a chocolate chip cookie and it turns out to be a oatmeal raisin?
No,
Deceptive.
yeah. That right there.
Yes, isn't it though? Isn't it? Like,
I don't know. I don't know if it's ooey and gooey and then you got a bowl of ice cream to put with it. I don't know. I can get behind that.
His favorite drink ever is just milk. But he loves the Martinelli's apple juice, specifically the Martinelli's in the glass bottle, not the plastic ones.
He wants a grenade. He's got to have a grenade.
Yeah, that glass grenade, yes, it's the glass shit, the apple, yes.
Don't buy the plastic ones, he has to have it in glass.
So a couple things, in all fairness, they have switched to the present tense on some of these. So it's no longer past tense. That's good. Katie says he has to have glass. He can't have plastic. It does sound like she's irritated with him. That Sebastian was very particular, perhaps because of his autism. It has to be a certain way. It has to be the glass one, not the plastic one. What's strange to me is that she's not getting emotional. She's not crying. She's not having anything well up in her, because she misses him. He's been gone for 3 months now. It's just very lighthearted. When a parent has a missing child and they're reminiscing about their missing child, they tend to get teary, especially if it's just 3 months out.
Because he's bougie like that.
Bougie. Okay.
We went to, when we were, I think it was Costco, when we were in there, and I was like, oh, wow, they got your apple juice. And he said, well, hold on. And he went over and tapped on it. He said, that's not the right one, Mom. I don't even want that.
Okay. It tastes different in the glass bottle than it does the plastic bottle. I get it.
Well, it's just like a Coke. I don't care who you are. You got Coke in a can, and a bottle, a glass bottle, and a fountain drink. And by far, the ones in the glass bottles, and then the fountain drinks, and then the canned Coke, and then you got plastic bottles.
Oh, no. Well, if it's a canned Coke in a cooler full of ice, a canned Coke on ice, that is almost as good as a glass bottle of Coke.
I don't know. Well, actually, you prefer the American or Mexican?
Let me ask you, if your child was missing, would you want to spend all this time talking about drinks that he likes, or whether you like Coke in a bottle or a can? Does this seem like a productive conversation?
No, it's not productive. But look at the person who's leading the conversation. This dodo bird is just as ignorant as they are. This is why I was keep trying to tell you all, beware of the messenger. The Proudfoots didn't just hop on somebody's panel. This is not like walking into Starbucks or Costco and sit down and have a conversation with somebody in the subway. This person had to have reached out to you, or you reached out to them, and now you're up on their panel talking about absolutely nothing. Soda pop, fizz, and ice. This is ridiculous. This is why I keep telling you, these people who bring the content, they're just as ignorant as the people they are allowing to spew the nonsense. They are no different. This is just ridiculous. I don't know anything about it, Cindy. You got something you want to say, hit the link. The link is in the chat. If you have something you want to say pertaining to all of this nonsense between Seth, the Proudfoots, Mr. Mathis, unicorns, say what you have to say. That's what the panel's for. Give your opinion. I'm wondering how long this is going to play out with even Mr. Tony Mathis. Is Tony tired of the BS? Does he want to go back to the life he had before getting involved with Seth Rogers? Do they actually get along? Because if all these people are fighting, fussing, arguing, clout chasing, worried about who's doing what, who ain't doing what, they're bumping heads with Seth, what's to say that the next group come along, that won't be a problem? Are these two actually getting along? Seth Rogers and Tony Mathis, don't know. But I can't see it going much longer. He'll probably fade out, come up with an excuse that he's got to stay gone, and then he's going to hightail it and be doing something else with somebody else. Because there's too much bullshit with this case. And it makes you wonder who really cares for the child. Although Seth has been in the forefront, but he pops off easily. So then you have to use deduction. Well, if you can pop off the way you've been popping off, were you popping off with your son? We get it. You're upset, but let's keep it real. You don't know him. You don't know if he popped off when the child was around and could be seen. Did he easily irritate? And who kept the child when he went to work? See, these are questions you all need to be asking. Because Seth wants us to believe this child couldn't function on his own. But you got to use common sense. If Seth worked a third shift job, that means the child would be there alone while he's there on vacation. You all are not paying attention. So you left the autistic kid alone that you don't trust to be out in the street alone. Does that make any sense? If I can't trust my child to go out here and navigate for himself, do I really want to trust him being alone in a house with a door and a stove? Say it again, Queen. Do I want to trust a child with a door and a stove, but I can't trust him to go out here and navigate for himself if in case, let's say, he got lost or he feared for his safety. He couldn't go to a neighbor's and knock on the door and say, hey, help me. I'm just asking. Because something's not adding up.
You're trying to spread the word that your child is missing and people need to be on the lookout for him or her. And I have to say, the hosts of this show, perhaps they were only able to get Katie and Chris to talk if they talked about ridiculous things like Coke. But if you're interviewing someone or chatting with someone in a case like this, aren't you going to try to squeeze in a good question or two? They never do that.
She's not going to squeeze in anything because she likes the nonsense. This helps her channel get pushed around. Just let the Proudfoots talk about absolutely nothing, knitting scarves, playing with Crayolas. That's all you're hearing. Only a fool would sit here and let them go on and on and on and not try to steer it to some type of common sense. Nobody gives a fuck about soda pop in a can, in a bottle, in a cup. Oh, you really think it tastes better than that? So we're sitting here debating how good Coke tastes versus a bottle, a plastic cup, and from a fountain. Are you serious? Ooh, it ain't nothing like good old Coke with some ice cubes in it. Duh. This is what you're promoting on your channel. Look at the picture in this woman's video, Bed Crime Stories, of the Proudfoots holding that dog. I want you to think about that photograph, because that's going to be the thumbnail of this video. You holding that dog like it's a human. You probably cared more for the dog than you did the child, because you have a lot of people like that. They care for their dogs more than they care for their children and their loved ones. I've seen people do it. Carrying the dog here, there, over there. It ain't even no rescue dog. It ain't no dog for the disabled. Just got the dog. Everywhere they go, they got the dog. That's what I think of these two. They care more for a dog than they do their own child. The dog is a child. Sebastian was the dog. How about that? Taking a picture with their dog. And someone said, well, Queen, there's something wrong with that. Oh, it's something wrong with it when you don't care about your child. There's a whole lot wrong with it. Katie's leaning in. Christopher's smiling, holding the dog. She's got her hand on the dog. But do you see pictures of Katie, Sebastian, and Christopher in an affectionate manner? I'll wait. I've yet to see a picture uploaded to YouTube.
It's all about silly stuff like drinks and cake pops. Were they all hungry? Do they all love sweets? Is that why they're focusing on all this stuff?
I actually like Coca-Cola much better than I like American Coca-Cola because
Well, we know you like Coca-Cola. Probably like cigarettes too. Old ass.
And we have it all with real sugar here too.
Sebastian won't touch anything carbonated. Nothing. He hates carbonated. I think it's a sensory issue thing for him.
Now, I will admit that I do find it interesting to hear that Sebastian won't touch anything that's carbonated. I do think that is a thing for some people who are on the spectrum. They do have sensory issues. I just wish that the people on the panel would bring the conversation back to Sebastian and only Sebastian. I don't care if the lady on the panel likes her Coke from Mexico or the US. I'm not interested how she feels about her carbonated beverages. And it is very telling that Katie and Chris do not steer the conversation toward Sebastian. They aren't trying to get a message to him, as in, Sebastian, if you can hear me. They aren't pleading with the public to say it's 3 months, but we're not giving up. Please keep looking for him. We're not hearing any urgency in their voices, and we're certainly not hearing any emotion.
Just the bubbles.
He can't stand anything even lightly carbonated. He can't stand it.
That's interesting.
Because he's got sensory issues, but each kid, person, everything is unique to them, and for him, carbonation.
Bed Crime Stories has a great point. Just talking around in circles about carbonated drinks and cake and sweets, and hey, you're right. Were you all hungry when you went on the live stream? What's the point? And the YouTuber, she's feeding right into it because she's a dizzy ass broad. I said it. Another dizzy broad. I respect you. I admire you, Queen. You don't admire me? You don't know me from a can of paint. You worry about yourself. You don't worry about Queen. I got Queen. As we say in the street, I got this. Hit the link. You have something you want to say, or I'm going to end this live stream. Because I'm tired of talking about these stupid ass people. These people are stupid to me. I can get this type of behavior in the street. I don't need YouTube. This is what you're trying to tell folks about talking about these stupid ass people on these panels and running to YouTube with this nonsense, and they got missing kids. If I want foolishness, I can go right outside my door. I don't ever have to make a video about true crime and the inhabitants. I can get that nonsense outside of a front door. And that's what I hate about true crime, is this right here. This he said and she said. And what he said and she said and he said and she said. And get that in the street. These are street people. Let me make this clear to some of you who don't really know what a street person is. A street person is a person that indulges in chaos 24/7. It does not mean that they're an addict, an alcoholic, a dope dealer, a gangbanger. You could be a street person because you indulge in nonsense. Let me make that clear. The Proudfoots are street people because they indulge in bullshit. They bicker and do all this stuff. You can best believe there's way more than what you're hearing on a YouTube panel. That's why the boy's missing. See, Seth told it all when he said she was neglectful. Then he slipped up and talked about her drugging the kid because of the question that the polygraph examiner asked him. He's telling you the story. Shit was not right between the three. That is why the boy is missing. This shit's been going on. This ain't nothing that just happened in February. These people have been at odds with each other for a long time. Whether they argued every day or didn't argue every day. They're never going to tell you the truth. They're not going to really tell you on a live panel what they think of one another. Because detectives are watching the story unfold. TBI is watching the story unfold. So they're not going to tell you what they really think of one another. Chris is not going to tell you what he thinks of Katie. Katie's not going to tell you what she thinks of Chris. Chris is not going to tell you what he thinks of Seth. And Katie's not going to tell you what she thinks of Seth Rogers. Just a little jab here and a little jab there.
Is a hard no. Never drank a soda a day in his life. He's had a sip and hated every single time.
Funny, he didn't like that, but he likes his sugar in a different format, not in liquid format then.
Yeah, unless it's like chocolate milk.
Right. Yeah, so that'd be the carbonation bubbles then.
Yeah, carbonation specifically. Because, I mean, I do the flavored waters, and he was really into it with me. So every day we go and we make our like little water talks, and we do different recipes. We got a whole water talk set up. We help pick out flavors. And
It's actually astonishing that they can talk about carbonated beverages for such a long time. It's like, can we address the elephant in the room? Your son is missing. Let's talk about that.
he would make his own waters. But I use sparkling water sometimes, and he would, every once in a while, he would grab my drink and drink it because he was being funny, and he's like, oh, I'm drinking water. Well, every once in a while, he'd grab it, and it would have carbonated water in it, and he'd take one sip and be like, I'm like, that's why you don't drink people's drinks without asking, dude.
Am I the only one who thinks that this conversation is ludicrous, knowing that Sebastian's missing and you now have a platform on which you may speak about that and you're wasting it on carbonated beverages? Red flag, red flag, red flag. So this conversation took place last night And are you getting the feeling once again that Katie prefers to tell negative things about Sebastian instead of positive things about him? And note that we've got the past tense throughout this whole section of the conversation.
I'm trying to roll through and see. Chat was asking some pretty good questions.
I'm going to end it right there because the proof is in the pudding. There is no regard for Sebastian Rodgers by his mother and stepfather. I don't really know the true nature of the relationship between Seth and his son and his true feelings for his son. Because I know that people put on airs when they're in public, in front of news cameras, and also on YouTube panels. And you're not getting the real people. You're getting a glimpse of them, but they're not telling you everything. Let me say that. These people are not telling you what was really going on behind closed doors with the boy child. And I find it very disturbing that Seth Rodgers had no idea how these people felt about his child. And he only learned their true feelings about the boy until he watched YouTube conversations with the Proudfoots. And that is just a very, very horrible way to hear how your ex-wife and her husband feel about your son is on a YouTube panel. And as this woman is saying here in this content, to just go round and round and round about soda pop, fountain drinks is absolutely ridiculous. But this shows you who they are and where their focus is. And it's not on Sebastian Rodgers. Thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful weekend. You have been listening to the Vault XL. Thank you.